All right, guys, good evening. This is another dog's day with Thoroughbred Underdog. It is May 24th, 2025. Um, and tonight's Saturday night's main event. I didn't even know we had another PLE or sub PLE. It seems like just yesterday I was giving you all my predictions about Backlash, which I also didn't know was happening that day when it happened. And then the last time, when I didn't watch Backlash, I ended up missing, which actually was a decent pay-per-view or PLE. So I'll be up for main event tonight. I think after that is when I'm going to finally go to sleep. But, yeah, Saturday night's main event's tonight. And the things I usually pay attention to throughout the week when I post the links for you guys to go view. Memes, any social media shoot promo type things or any fan incidents, things other fans may have noticed. One specific thing that was a giggity moment that I'm not going to post. Things like that. But there wasn't really a whole lot going on tonight or this past week. This week in wrestling. The most notable thing is what you see in the thumbnail. The Zoey Stark injury, which is a very freak accident. It was not quite Sid level, but something more so you will see in like a basketball game. Very similarly to Seth's injury. It's a torn ACL. But those are some of the things I look out for, and just wasn't really a lot that I felt inclined to give my thoroughbred thoughts on. It'd be like that sometimes, it's not really a big week in wrestling. So I'll just give you my predictions on Saturday night's main event, which I, not knowing that it even occurred tonight, just looked up what the card was maybe 10 minutes before I even start recording this voice memo. But some other things that have been on my mind wrestling week. Actually, I ain't going to lie to you guys. Let me tell you guys something about me real quick. So the things that make me happy, the things that when I'm down or plan some goals planned with other people, or the things that I went to when I couldn't see my friends, or I didn't have any friends, or stopped having friends, the things that I went to make me happy to go, get out of those dark places was always collecting action figures, electronics, gadgets, technology, books, certain educational websites, Quizlet, making tests on things, music, video games, and of course, wrestling, right? But with the music thing, I think that occupied my time more this week because I'm a big hip-hop fan, but now contemporary, right? So, I like battle rap. I like mostly old school, niche, underground rap, right? And that's not just what I have on my phone, but on the rap side, yes, it's predominantly rap, but it's not a lot of contemporary stuff. But on the contemporary side, I've been paying attention a lot to this Joey Badass, East Coast versus TDE, / West Coast thing. It's just been good dialogue with people like Mark Dupree. I say that like you guys know who he is on Threads, and I've been watching like every little reaction channel between No Life Shack and the Log Twins and Zias and all these guys to see what they thought about some of the tracks. And then I even became a fan of new artists like I think it's this guy named Rome. I don't remember the last name. I already liked Reason. He definitely sounds like Kendrick on his diss track. But most notably, a guy named Kai Cash, Nixon 6. Just the way he flipped the whole Murder Was the Case That It Gave Me beat. It just was dope. So that's really what occupied most of my attention this week. It seemed like for 2 to 3 days, every day was a new track where somebody responding to the other person. Daylight made like 5 or 6 tracks in like 48 hours. It was insane. And I love how rap and wrestling have these parallels where it's like it was like a Royal Rumble or something like that, where everybody just kept coming in, getting eliminated, coming in, going after the person in the Rumble that you have a singles rivalry with. But, and then it had this Mortal Kombat elements where Joey Badass is like going after everybody just to get to Shao Kahn, aka Kendrick in his case. You go in like a Royal Rumble, you're going after your rival, and then they get eliminated or they eliminate somebody else, and then you get eliminated by somebody else, and that starts a rivalry. Like it's people that was going in here that it dissed other rappers and then end up getting another rapper respond to them that took their attention away from the original rapper they had beef with. So it's competitive. I love the competitive nature, and that's what occupied me this week most part. And then I started to get back into wrestling because I got 2 channels. I don't upload on that channel, but I really got like 5 channels. I got educational, work-related, learning, knowledge one. I got a wrestling one. I got a rap and urban media and Chicago shit one, because I am from Chicago. I'm from the South Side. I'm always going to have that part of me. But I wasn't really like that, but I like those things. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with drill or any of the, shit like that. But I, liked hood shit. I was just battle rap, like battle rap, like Drillmatic's channel and stuff like that. So, I have that channel for that, and I got one for like nerdy stuff like video games and toys and action figures and things like that, and I got the wrestling one, right? So, I got one for like general entertainment, like just comedy, dark stuff, just general entertainment, right? But on the rap one, I'm a consumer. The entertainment one, I'm a consumer. The toy one, I'm a consumer. The only ones I actually upload things on is this one here that, I'm talking to you guys on. And the knowledge-based one. I do my virtues that I live by on there. The name of the channel is Brilliance Manifested if you want to go have a look. But wrestling side-wise, I really wasn't tuned in as much as I was with the rap shit. So, I switched channels on and off. Been going to that channel to see if there's been any new tracks or any new artists that got something to say. And it kind of died down a little bit. So everybody's just waiting to see what Kendrick's going to say, if he's going to reply to Joey Badass all, how long it's going to take him, because he was with the quickness when it came to Drake. And Joey Badass and Kendrick both came out like 2010-ish, you know what I'm saying, with their best shit. So far as like on the mixtape side, Kendrick came out with like Section 80 right around the same time that Joey came out with 1999. I think 99 came out in 2011 and Section 80 came out in 2010. But they were both, young and upcoming. So it's not like they're a different generation here, But anyway, back to wrestling. You can skip that whole part. If I should have gave like the forewarning, but you guys know I'm very spontaneous. I don't plan. I improvise. Nothing's polished with me. That's the thing about, like, why don't you do fancy? Why don't you make your stuff a little bit more professional, more polished? I'm not gonna ever really be that. Even DT used to always say that, and now he's got like better production and editing and things like that. And I might get a logo and like a little not thumbnail, but watermark or something eventually. But my thing is that it's almost like when you go and watch, like, I hate to say it, Pornhub, and some of the amateur shit be better than the more professional 4K looking shit. You get all these close zoom ins, and you don't get all these crazy angles. You get raw. You get crude. You get straight up and honest. You don't have people saying what they're paid to say because of sponsors and things like that, and they have to be censored, and they have to watch what they say because they might get demonetized and things like that. It's almost the same way when you go to like a Walmart or something. Hint, hint. You go to Walmart and you might buy some great value stuff, and it's better than some of the stuff that is name brand, because a lot of those great value things add an extra flavor to compensate for the fact that, hey, we're not Frito-Lay. You know, we're not General Mills or Kellogg. You know what I mean? So with me, it's all about being me. It's all about, hey, I'm a regular person. I really am. I might have some irregular thoughts on things. I may have some thoroughbred thoughts on things. But at the end of the day, I'm a regular person. And I don't forget where I came from. I don't lie about where I'm at. So right now, yeah, I'm not doing... And also, yes, I can't obviously afford a lot of those cool little knickknacks and things like that. I literally take chicken shit and turn it with chicken salad. You know, I do voice memos. I got a mic over here, a good one, but I haven't made the time yet to see how to go about recording on my computer. And I really want to get a good program if I'm going to be recording on my computer. These voice memos, because it don't really matter what y'all recorded on, right? You're not seeing my face. It's a voice memo. It's me talking about wrestling. No different than anybody else, just doing like recording their thoughts on things, right? But yeah, I'm a regular person, guys. I'm a regular fan, just like you guys. And whatever happens, happens. You know, like I come in with love for this. Do I have aspirations to be in the business? Of course, yes. Maybe not a wrestler, because I don't feel like you as a wrestler should say that you want to be a wrestler until you get slammed on the mat. And then that's when you find out if you really want to or not. I haven't been slammed on the mat. I'm 34 years old. Never was athletic. Never was in sports. But I definitely cannot die without trying. You know what I'm saying? So it's on my bucket list to actually go and train to see if this is something I really want to do on that front. But I know for a fact I want to do something involved in wrestling. So that's why, you know, I do a lot of these thoroughbred thoughts to give you my perspective. Because one day you may be getting my perspective on a wrestling podcast. You may be getting my perspective as an in-ring commentator or one of those analysts, or, you know, a higher level. But, you know, yeah, I'm not going to ever really be polished or anything or portray a front, because I'm just a regular dude, you know, with extraordinary intelligence. So, that said, 13 minutes in, I am going to give you first my thoroughbred thoughts on this Saturday night's main event card and my predictions. First and foremost, only thing for SmackDown I feel like that really piqued my interest was like not even the Wyatt Six return, right? So let's talk about SmackDown for a little bit. So the Wyatt Six returned. They attacked pretty much every tag team. And SmackDown's tag team division has to be the most stacked in all of WWE. Raw, it seems like only's got 3 teams. That's American Alpha, you know, War Raiders, New Day, and to a lesser extent, Theory, A-Town Down Under, right? They're on and off about doing the whole storyline with them separating, right? But SmackDown's got Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, freaking DIY, and now Wyatt Six has returned. Okay? And I may not seem that much more, but they're doing more on their side of things. You're not getting a lot of pseudo repeat matches, but they're putting a lot more energy and effort. I say this, and then they didn't have their match at WrestleMania. They had it on TV. But it just seems like the SmackDown division, they get more segments and more attention for their tag teams than any other, WWE show right now. Like, even that, they debuted the White Six to attack the tag team division, which kind of low-key says, okay, we're going to be having possibly Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy from the White Six go after the tag team belts, right? Oh, not to mention we got Fraxium. So that's 6 tag teams. 6 or 7, right? So, and they had a birthday cake for Bray, because I guess yesterday was Bray's birthday. Rest in peace to Bray Wyatt, and happy birthday, belated. White Six doesn't really do anything for me. I feel like they were out for too long. Maybe that interest can be reinvigorated with their return now. Maybe we could get back into them. But they don't really do much for me right now. And I like all those guys. I like Joe Gacy when he had the politically correct gimmick. I liked Dexter Lumis when he was, Dexter. In fact, I am working on editing movesets. I like to make movesets accurate on 2K25. And I dissect. I'm very methodical. Like, I'm very, precise and detailed when it comes to, people's movesets and making sure they don't have moves they really don't do or have never done in real life or haven't done in years. With Dexter Lumis, I wanted to make it more custom. I wanted to give him, every move that was, something that you would think a killer would do, like chokes and guillotine leg drops and, sleeper holds. And he got sleeper hold already, but regular sleeper holds, snake eyes, foot to throats, heart punches, anything dealing with moves that seem deadly, or because that's how I was even gonna give him a mandible claw, because that's Sam Shepard. That's how the mandible claw got created. They thought that the guy killed his wife with the mandible claw, right? And that's why he became the killer Sam Shepard, right? And it's funny because that's, who Dexter Lumis, or I cannot think of his regular name right now. Sam Shaw. His name's Sam Shaw, just like Sam Shepard, when they both play killers. I don't know if he had any inspiration from that, but I was going to give him all the moves like a killer. I was going to make his customized like that. And then George the Animal Steel, I was going to give him all the moves that you named after all the moves that basically got animal name up in it, like Frog Splash, Bulldog, freaking Monkey Flips, because he's the animal. So I like those guys, but Wyatt Six is going to take a little bit to get me back into him. And then you had a Charlotte, Tiffany Stratton segment with Tiffany calling them vintage and old and stuff like that. I'm yeah, that's cheap heat, I guess. I guess they're kind of teasing still Alexa and Charlotte. Everybody wants the Dark Queen, and Charlotte needs a new character. I think Charlotte will start getting over with the fans again once she's just not spoiled, not always in a tag division. Possibly get a new character other than I'm the female Ric Flair. You know what I mean? That might get people, because people want something new. You know what I'm saying? Some people just wait until it's too late to give you something new. We should got Cena as a heel forever, but Cena's still killing it. People still loving a Cena heel turn, even though, damn, I'm not too keen on this 25 about to be appearances thing. We're barely getting him on TV to really utilize the heel turn like that, So sometimes it's a little bit too little too late. But Charlotte, I know everybody like to go for her age or whatnot. Can she still work? Because we didn't give Shawn Michaels shit when he was 46 when he retired. You know what I mean? And he was, I think, 30. Was he 39? 37, something like that, when he came back in 2002. So, let's not be ageistic. If a person can still work and contribute, and they're not looking bad out there with their age, then I think we should disregard their age. But we're not talking like Jeff Jarrett territory. Like, Jeff Jarrett can still really work. He's always had one of the best wrestling punches. But don't nobody want to see Jeff Jarrett win a World Heavyweight Championship in 2025. And I think, that's why everybody was like, okay, what happened with him feuding with MJF? People just was like, okay, cool. Like, certain people was like, yeah, they could still work, but you really don't. It's certain places you don't want to see them, and spots you don't want to see them in, So not everybody gets the fanfare from it. I don't think Charlotte's age really means anything outside of Tiffany Stratton being like the younger hot chick. Outside of that, I don't think people really even notice or care about Charlotte's age. But the Dark Queen would be nice. And then we had R-Truth doing... I was hoping they would have made R-Truth serious with his promos against John. I mean, he did say he had kicked John Cena's ass to hustle loyalty, respect back into him. But I thought they would have dropped the whole hero thing. But, made him more serious. But I'm under the belief at this point we're never going to get serious R-Truth again. We had serious R-Truth. And maybe, does it ever occur to us that maybe this person's happy doing what they are doing? Maybe R-Truth is happy being the goofy comedy character. Maybe it's not just people, in the back, like, stick to this. Maybe he's actually happy doing that. So, end of the day, but I would rather him been serious doing this whole, I don't know if I want to even call it a feud. It was a table spot, a promo, and now we're having a match tonight. And my friend Chuck, his crazy ass actually believes that R-Truth is going to win. I think he just be playing devil's advocate sometimes, and it's just like, dude, the consensus is that R-Truth doesn't have a chance in hell of winning the World Championship on a random event that most people didn't even remember was going on tonight. So, that's SmackDown for me. Raw, the only thing that stuck out to me, they also experimented with a new camera angle doing, there was a tag team match with Ray Phoenix, I forget who his partner was, against Giga Fatu. Oh, yeah, so there is one thing, I forgot to share with you guys, last week, there was a little segment. I'll push this one too. There was, I'm writing it down now because I always forget these links, right? Zoey Stark. All right. So there was a segment last week where I think Solo Sikoa was looking for LA Knight or something, right? And right before it was Ray Phoenix and it's him and some other wrestler. They was talking about Money in the Bank in English. As soon as Solo came up to him and asked him where LA Knight was, they started speaking Spanish. And they said, no. And then Solo Sikoa's like, oh, okay, don't speak in English. Waste of time, and walked off. It was hilarious because they was caught speaking English, and then they switched to, we don't, no English. It was just hilarious. And they're experimenting more with Solo being more comedic. Like, So there was one where they finally got JC Mateo. It's still gonna take a while to get used to that instead of Jeff Cobb. And word is they were gonna call him JC Matanza to link back to his Lucha Underground thing, but they went with Mateo instead. They finally got him a wrestler attire. He got singlet again. But him and Solo was in the back talking, and Jacob Fatu just comes up and says, "I love you, Solo." He didn't say it like, "I love you, Solo." He says, "I love you, Solo," and walks off. Freaking Solo Sikoa says, "Man, he ain't said that in like 6 months." I'm like, you gotta see it. I'm gonna post a link. It helps to have two phones and a shit memory, because I actually write down like, hey, as I think about it, post this link on my other phone. I got 2 iPhones, and I can't help but to post them when I see that. So, my baby just texted me. This is so unpro. Hold on, guys. All right. So, that's hilarious, y'all. So, listening back to this, my friend Chuck's gonna get a kick out of him being mentioned, and I text my girl as we're doing it, like, hey, I'm replying to you as I'm like, there's literally a part in here where I paused to reply back to you while you text me. So, yeah, that's hilarious. But anyway, back to JC Mateo. Next time she sends me a message, I'll reply after the show. I don't want to have too many pauses or, things like that during the show. But the recording. So yeah, they're trying a little bit more to be more comedic with Solo Sikoa, and it's working. I mentioned it last week, so I love what they're doing with him, man. I think him being a little bit more comedic, especially after being with the Bloodline for 2 years and not talking, 2 or 3 years not talking, that'll make people like get behind him a little bit, even though he's a heel, because he needs something. I mean, let's be honest. Once Joker Fatu came in, everybody's like, damn, what about Solo? You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs something. He needs something to get his momentum back. And maybe it won't be in the ring, but maybe it'll be with his character and charisma. Because he's an Uso at the end of the day, So, little subtleties like that, little subtle, comedic things he does would be what probably gets people to fuck with Solo again. But Raw, maybe it's memory bias, recency bias, but Raw don't be doing much for me, man. Like, Raw is just dead compared to SmackDown, Seems like SmackDown's got more life to it than Raw does these days. Even though people are saying, like, SmackDown's worse, and there's some people attributing it to Road Dogg being the writer for it, I just feel like SmackDown just has more life to it. I mean, so, yeah, let's get back to it, though. So that was SmackDown. Essentially, all I talked about this week is SmackDown rap. Me being a polished turd. Shout out to my girl. I don't know if she'd be okay with me saying her name yet. Let's just leave it at that. my boy Chuck from work, who basically looks like fucking a skinnier, lankier version of American Badass 2000 Undertaker when he was with Sarah. He's like, you son of a bitch. I can hear him right now saying, you son of a bitch. But, and Rap and Zoey Starks in the main event was predictions, right? So, let's see, what else? Like I said, I'm going to go look at the card real quick. So, pull it right back up. All right, so the card. I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to tell you, in no specific order, I'm going to give it to you and tell you what I think. We already addressed the fact that I don't think R-Truth has a shitball's chance in the world of being John Cena, but I think the match would be a lot of gaga and comedic spots. R-Truth using Cena's face comeback against him. I could foresee that. It's fun going back looking at these matches doing this moveset shit, because you try to pinpoint when somebody start using like other people's moves, a part of their moveset, like with Miz when he started using the Daniel Bryan moves, and R-Truth when he started using John Cena's moves and saying he was his hero. So it's always fun doing that, right? But she's texting me. I get so happy and sanguine when she texts me. Like I said earlier, guys, there's 6 things that make me happy in this world. I forgot to say God. I'm a big guy. I love God. I'm not super religious. I don't post a lot of religious stuff, but I'm a God guy. I'm sorry. I'm a God guy. You guys are Paul Heyman guys. I'm a God and Paul Heyman guy. Somebody posted a picture of him on Instagram the other day. I'm like, fuck, can we just get him as Penguin already? Or at least can somebody do like an AI with him as Penguin? Because Paul Heyman, for him to be so eloquent and have such elocution and such conviction and just his voice, why hasn't he done anything since Rollerball? Why hasn't he done voiceover work? Why hasn't he had more acting roles? But yeah, I'm a God guy and a Paul Heyman guy. And God's number one. You know what I'm saying? Without him, I have nothing. All things good and perfect come down to me from him. So sorry if you guys aren't God guys. I'm not going to judge you. I don't judge you based on what you believe in, what you don't. As long as you don't believe in hurting children and animals and, you know, mistreating other people because of what they identify as or their beliefs or their politics or things like that. We're good. Or you don't believe in showering. We all should shower. As a matter of fact, I can use one myself because, you know, not long ago, before I took a nap, I came from McDonald's and need to take me another one and wash some clothes. So I love you guys, man. I love how just random I am. And sometimes I come up with ideas while I'm talking to you guys like, you know, I'm up. Maybe I should do this today. But my baby is number 7. Only because she's more recent, and I've had those other things in my life since I was like 6 years old, 7 years old. I've been playing with wrestling figures and collecting action figures and such, even though I stopped for a while. The way they make the action figures nowadays, I had to get back into it. I mean, guys, did you see that fucking Sagat from Storm Collectibles, Storm Arena? I'm like, man, like, it looks fucking good, and everybody's mad because he's got the blue and red instead of the purple and yellow. I'm like, dude, just be grateful we getting some good-ass Street Fighter figures, because in the 90s, this was unheard of. We got Street Fighter figures, but they were horrible. So I'll never stop collecting. But the other 6 things that make me happy, I've had my whole life. And now only recently I've gotten her. So it's just like, she's really the best. She's the Bret Hart of my life. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, right? So when she's comfortable saying her name, I'll say her name like Joe Hendry, and she'll appear. I believe in, I'll say syllables, because Joe Hendry is 3 syllables. Hers is 2. So when she's ready, I'll say her name, say her name. But anyway, back to wrestling. Baby, you distracted me. But yeah, so the main event results tonight. Saturday night's main event. Like I said, the card, we already established R-Truth as not being John Cena. And looking at the rest of the card here, we are finally going to get Logan Paul versus Jey Uso, which I think is perfect for a sub PLE like this. I mean, you could have did Logan Paul versus Uso and another PLE main. We thought we were gonna get Backlash. The feud had just started, maybe that Monday before Backlash, but they've had like Logan Paul knock out Jey a little bit. There's no doubt the match is gonna be good. Logan Paul is a natural dude. Like, yes, not completely. How can you not be completely natural? You're either natural or artificial, right? Not completely, because I do, there's a lot of studying and rehearsal that goes into his matches before he does it. And one of the very few matches he had where he didn't on SmackDown wasn't really good. It was against The Miz. And Miz is weird sometimes when it comes to working with new people. Like, even though he's had a match against Logan Paul before, Miz sometimes, he's like the A-verb, if you follow battle rap, of like wrestling. He could have a really good performance out there and have a really good match with somebody you didn't expect him to and bring out the best of them. And then every now and then he could just have performances like, is this the same person that just had that match and did those moves and sold like that? Miz sometimes can be awkward in the ring. So he had an awkward match with Logan Paul on SmackDown that wasn't really good. And that was one of the very few matches that Logan Paul had on regular TV. That you could tell wasn't like months or weeks of rehearsal before he had it, over spots and things like that. And even the match with AJ really wasn't all that, like, I just feel like my boy AJ ain't what he used to be. But even with that, you know what I'm saying, like, I think this match would be good because their styles are very similar. They're both showmen and excitable, like excitement move, spot move type wrestlers. So I think Logan Paul versus Jey Uso would be good, but obviously Jey Uso is retaining, right? This is the type of match that I'm okay with being on a card like this. So completely okay with it, right? We got CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth and Braun Breaker. I'm kind of glad we're getting this now because I'm thinking, when is hey Google. Wow, you guys getting a lot of guest appearances in this one. You getting my other iPhone I'm doing notes on. You're getting Google. You're getting my girlfriend. You're getting my boy Chuck. You're even getting some of my plans throughout the day. Like, hey, need to go hit the showers. Need to go wash some stuff, wash some sheets and clothes and towels and things, right? You're getting my home, body, mind. But hey, Google, when is Money in the Bank?
June 7th, 2025. According to Wikipedia, the 2025 Money in the Bank, also promoted as Money in the Bank, Los Angeles, is an upcoming professional wrestling event produced by WWE. It will be the 16th annual Money in the Bank event and will take place on Saturday, June 7th, 2025.
16 of motherfuckers already.
Dome in Inglewood, California. To find out more, look for the link in your Google Home or Google Assistant app.
16 Money in the Bank event since it's become its own solo event already. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy, y'all. Talk about law of diminishing returns. Am I the only one who kind of misses it being at Mania, especially since it's a 2-night event? Like, you could do one main, Money in the Bank on one night and then do the female one the next. I think that's how they want to do Royal Rumble in the future. Speaking of which, pay-per-views and stuff like that, I think there was a big announcement about WrestleMania 42 no longer being, I think it's going to be in Los Angeles again. Los Angeles. Las Vegas again. It was originally going to be New Orleans. I want them to get away from the same places, like fucking this whole betting thing. Like, damn, we get a lot of the manias at the same places. Like, we just had one in New Orleans for 2014 for WrestleMania 30. Then we got in 20, was it 34 too? That's when they had the big old Mardi Gras mask as the Titantron. And that's when Oscar, I remember that one because I was so mad about Oscar losing to Charlotte. And now we were gonna get it again for Mania. Like, can we get like new places? Like, can we get like Detroit again or fucking? Well, I'm from Chicago. I love Chicago. Of course, I live in Indiana now. I was born and raised in Chicago. 23 years as a citizen, right? So for all intents and purposes, I'm a Chicago citizen, even though I've been in Indiana now for, whatever. I know Chicago's not the safest, but you have the shit in borderline Rosemont anyway. I know they want like the huge numbers and stuff like that again, but fuck, can we get like places other than Vegas and shit? I even take Saudi Arabia at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to get away from like the Vegases and the New Orleans and the Los Angeleses and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, new places, please. But speaking of Saudi Arabia, they are planning on there is rumblings about, hey, having a Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. I just don't want Saudi Arabia. I'm cool with Saudi Arabia getting it. You know what I'm saying? If this was 2001, this would have been a whole different mind frame. I mean, the country has made some progress. This is still in lieu of what they did with the Jamal Khashoggi shit, right? I think Saudi Arabia today is way better than what it was in 2001, right? I'm cool with them getting it. Just can we get a Mania or a Rumble and some port of Europe again? You know what I mean? London, England, something like that. I mean, we got it in Great Britain. We had Clash of the Castle in Wales, which is United Kingdom. And then we had we had Bash at Berlin, which is in Germany. So clearly we could do big events and numbers there. Why not give the UK like Mania or something like that? That'd be nice. I'd rather them get it there first before Saudi Arabia or Riyadh or what have you, Riyadh and Saudi Arabia, whatever. So, let's get back to it, man. Let's get back to it. So, you guys should know I'm random as fuck by now. I think I have done more. Have I? I don't even know the statistics on my own shit. Have I done more of these dog days than I've had the thoroughbred thoughts at this point? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think I've been doing this for about 2 years now. Because I started this going on 2 years. Yeah, 2023 I think is when I started doing these, I think. Shit, I'm wondering about my own channel now. But anyway, back to the card. CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Brian Breakker. The momentum's with Seth and Brian right now. And I'm happy about this because this could still give us time and space for CM Punk versus John Cena to happen at Money in the Bank. Because we only getting like 20 appearances plus of Cena, right? We got to get CM Punk versus Cena at some point. I mean, really. And why not? Better than Money in the Bank. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's the historical significance, the story there, the history, the rivalry. Uh, and the dynamic of, wow, Cena's a heel. It's not face versus face. I mean, technically, CM Punk was supposed to have been the heel because he was still with the Nexus then. But I think he was basically turned babyface from that whole pipe bomb and the fan reception when he came back at that Raw as a champion. So technically, he was a heel. The pipe bomb is, I guess, considered a heel promo. So, but now we got this dynamic where Cena's the face. So why not give us CM Punk as a babyface versus Cena going into Money in the Bank? You could even use that, obviously, as a part of the low-hanging fruit. Hey, we fought here 14 years ago, you know what I mean, what have you, or whenever it happened. Yeah, 14 years ago, Summer of Punk, 2011. So I just don't know if that's enough time or they still want to continue. I mean, you heard Google, so it's like, it's about 3 weeks worth, you know. You're kind of running through this Cena run, right? Because we know that after this match with R-Truth, that's it. So I don't know. They still want to continue. Because Seth and Punk actually has been interesting, but it wasn't as interesting as Drew versus Punk. So I think we're getting to diminishing returns with it. We're at the point where it's like, okay, it's too much cheese now. Like, can we move on? But I don't know. I got Braun and Seth winning this match. That's who the momentum is. Maybe tonight we'll get third guy. Unlike with what happened with Rock and Travis Scott and stuff. Also, I sincerely hope Travis Scott does not appear for Cena to have to defeat R-Truth. It would be a nice little cool thing to see R-Truth winning, at least by disqualification. But the only time R-Truth should beat Cena was at Capital Punishment, also about 14, 15 years ago. Would have been nice. Hey, maybe we get R-Truth smoking a cigarette again. I don't know. But next match, Priest versus Drew in a steel cage. It's going to be nice. It's going to be a good match from a rivalry that, you know, I like both these guys. But the rivalry felt so forced. I got Damian Priest winning this. Because he needs a big win. Where do you go from here after this, though, with these guys, you know? Maybe, I don't know where you go from here after this with them. I think that's the most interesting part about the match, is after whoever wins, like I said, I got Damian Priest winning, where they're going next, who they're going to feud with next after this. I think that's the most interesting part. But, and then you got Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green. I think Zelina retains. And then, that's pretty much it for Saturday night's main event. I mean, SmackDown also was a bunch of Money in the Bank qualifying matches. And I'm happy Julia qualified. Aleister Black losing already. They probably want to continue to go a feud with him and Carmelo Hayes and Miz still, so that's probably why he lost. Because it's him, LA Knight, and who else was in that match? They just been doing a lot of triple threat matches. But I know LA Knight qualified. If LA Knight's in the Money in the Bank, I would love to see LA Knight win, because it's just been a while since he's been even spoken of as a main eventer. And LA Knight with the Money in the Bank just, to me, does anybody else get this vibe from LA Knight that he's like, it's funny because he just had an interview with Chris Van Vliet. I think last week he did. This week was Lyra Valkyria. Does anybody else get like Mr. Kennedy vibes from LA Knight, just with he's a baby face and he wrestles a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? That's what LA Knight reminds me of. Because even him winning the Money in Bank, I said that to you guys. And I just saw an image of when Mr. Kennedy won it. But I like LA Knight. I like the charisma. I like that he tries new moves. And, you know, what I did before I started thinking about playing 2K25, like every year I say I'm going to look at people's moves before I play the game. And I think this year was the closest I've gotten to, like, actually getting to that point without watching the matches yet. Like, I wrote down everybody. I made a checklist of everybody whose moves I need to, who I'm going to play with. And if I start, what starting points I have for their matches and when I'll stop watching matches. Obviously, people are still going. I'll still watch their matches that they're currently having. But like Dexter Lumis, 23 in the game. Obviously, every match he had from when he debuted is what he did until he stopped being the murder gimmick, the Dexter gimmick, right? But then you got guys like LA Knight that's still going. So, like, I'll go as far back as maybe NXT LA Knight to main roster LA Knight to now, right? He's got a weird moveset. He does, like, springboard moves. He's got the, like, double jump, elbow drop. He's pulled some different moves out of there. Like, I think he does, like, a second rope tornado DDT, which I think we're only now getting one with the new wave pack for Chris Sabin. I'll have to look again. But LA Knight, he goes in his bag sometimes. So it's just going to be interesting to watch his matches and work on his moveset. But I'm really methodical and very punctilious when it comes to, like, moveset accuracy. And I even do my own little things too, like I know back when they first put Ultimate Warrior in the game, right? He had a running big boot that I just hate that he took out, where he'll run and the person will sell it, like they'll fall to their side and it'll give you the perfect position for his, like, Warrior Splash or, like, something like that, right? So some wrestlers I'll like Nathan Frazier, right? Finisher is the Phoenix Splash. I am going to give him and anybody else who does moves like moonsaults and things like that, the EO Sky run to the top rope, just for seamless transition for their, moonsault, or shit, Two Cold Scorpio was in the game, the moonsault leg drop he did. But for Nathan Frazier, I'm extremely excited to look at some of his matches and see what cool moves he does. It just reminds me of, like, Seth before the knee injury. Shield Seth and, Tyler Black, a.k.a. NXT Seth. Ring of Honor Tyler Black, moveset-wise. If you want to see, like, Seth now, watch Nathan Frazier. He's also a student of Seth, so it makes a lot of sense. But it's fun watching these movesets, and like I said, this year has been the closest since SmackDown vs. Raw, WWE 2K19, that I've gotten to actually getting in there and watching matches to make these movesets right. So it's going to be fun watching LA Knight, Nathan Frazier, Damian Priest, Nakamura, and just make the game fun for myself. Make the game fun and, make it like I'm actually playing with the wrestler. I mean, that's what 2K tries to do with the basketball games. They try to make it like you're really playing with this player. Just like for a little bit with some players, some boxers on Undisputed, they want you to feel like you're really playing with Muhammad Ali. They add like his little, subtle gestures he did in the ring and his shuffles and stuff like that. So, that's something I'm also going to look forward to and start doing today. So the way I do is I make a little checklist, I make the note of the wrestler, and then I put the years that I started up to the year that I stopped or is still going. And then I'll check off or watch all those matches. And, well, if you see the amount of people I want to play with, I got a lot of work ahead of me. I'll tell you what, by the time I'm done with this, GTA 6 will probably be out. That's how many wrestlers in the game I'm like, oh, I'll play with this person. I'll play with this person, but I want to make sure the moves are right. But anyway, that is the podcast, the recording. This has been Thoroughbred Underdog, and every dog has its day. You may love it. I hope you like it. But if you don't like it, hate it. But you got to learn to live with it. That's my little catchphrase. Let me try that again. That was so good. I say, this has been the Thoroughbred Underdog, and every dog has its day, and today was mine. You may like it, may love it, or you may dislike it, even hate it. But you got to live with it. There we go, guys. Thanks for listening. Enjoy Saturday night's main event, guys.